Good day everyone. Today I will be presenting the introduction of our assignment, which focuses on government-linked company or GLC in Malaysia. Government-linked company play an important role in Malaysia economic and social development. GLC are companies that are owned or controlled by the government. This control does not only involve share ownership, but also the ability to influence the company direction and decisions. In Malaysia, GLC usually operate in key sectors such as electricity, transportation, telecommunication, and aviation, which are essential for daily life. GLC are part of public enterprise where the government is involved in business activity to ensure that important services are provided to the public. Unlike private companies that mainly focus on profit, GLC have dual objective. They must perform well financially while also serving the public interest and supporting national development. The main reason GLC are established is to correct market failure. Market failure happens when the free market cannot provide services efficiently or fairly. Private company may avoid rural or less profitable area or charge high price. Through GLC, the government can ensure fair pricing, long-term planning, and equal access to essential services. Examples such as Tenaga Nasional Berhad and Prasana Malaysia Berhad show how GLC have developed infrastructure and improved people quality of life. However, despite their importance, GLC also have issues and debates, including questions about efficiency and privatization. Therefore, our assignment aims to explain the concept of GLC within the public enterprise framework and discuss the key issues surrounding their role in Malaysia.
One of the main problems faced by Malaysian government-linked companies or GLCs is managing dual objectives. These organizations are expected to operate like profitable private companies while also serving the public by providing essential and often subsidy service. This creates tension at multiple levels, especially in decision-making and strategic planning. For example, Tenaga Nasional Berhad must balance its need to remain profitable with its duty to provide affordable electricity to rural communities and low-income households. Prioritizing subsidies can limit profits, showing how conflicting goals create real operational and financial challenges for GLCs. A second problem is political interference, which can affect management and operational decisions. Because the government often controls these companies, appointments, investments, and restructuring can be influenced by political priorities rather than purely business consideration. Malaysia Airlines is a clear example. Over the years, frequent management changes and restructuring driven by government intervention caused delays in crucial decisions and contributed to ongoing financial losses, showing how political influence can sometimes hinder efficiency and timely actions. Next, another major problem is weak governance and lack of accountability. GLCs report to multiple stakeholders, including government ministries, regulators, politicians, and the public, which makes responsibility unclear. For instance, Felda Global Ventures illustrate this problem well. After facing significant losses and mismanagement claims, the board blamed political interference while the government pointed to weak leadership. This finger-pointing highlights how accountability in public enterprises can become complicated and create challenges in both management and public perception. Finally, many GLCs face inefficiency and lack of competitiveness, partly because they are sheltered from market pressures. This limits incentives to innovate, reduce costs, or improve quality. For example, Proton, Malaysia's national car maker, struggled for decades with declining market share, product quality, and innovation despite government protection. Eventually, Proton entered a strategic partnership with Geely as part of a partial privatization, showing how inefficiency and lack of competitiveness can push even state-owned companies to seek external solutions to survive and grow. GLCs in Malaysia face a dual mandate. They must achieve commercial profitability while fulfilling social and developmental responsibilities. Researchers like Muhammad Saleh and Lee highlight that this balancing act often creates internal conflict for management. For instance, in sectors like utilities and public transport, GLCs are expected to provide affordable subsidies service while remaining financially sustainable. The literature suggests that unclear prioritization between public and commercial goals often leads to inefficiency and inconsistent performance. Another key issue is the political influence and government intervention in GLCs. Menon and Ng argue that strong political pressure can reduce managerial autonomy, as politically appointed managers may lack competence, affecting decision-making efficiency. Gomez and Jomo further explain that Malaysian GLCs are sometimes used for political purposes like wealth redistribution. While this may serve social objectives, it often comes at the cost of operational efficiency, slowing innovation and reducing accountability in competitive sectors like aviation, finance, and manufacturing. Next, governance and accountability are also major concerns. Najid and Rahman note that Malaysian GLCs often report to multiple authorities including ministries, regulatory bodies, parliament, and the public. This overlapping accountability can cause confusion over responsibility for underperformance, which may be blamed on political interference or managerial incompetence. The literature emphasized that strengthening corporate governance is essential to clarify roles, improve performance, and restore accountability. Finally, privatization emerges as a debated solution. Studies by Rasia and Watt argue that privatization can enhance efficiency, inject market discipline, and reduce government financial burdens. However, critics warn it may compromise public welfare if not properly regulated. In Malaysia, partial privatization or strategic partnerships are often favored, especially in telecommunication and automotive sectors. This hybrid approach, combining public ownership with private sector's efficiency, appears to offer the most balanced path for managing GLCs effectively.
Next, I will explain the methodology used in our assignment. Our assignment used a qualitative research approach because the focus of this study is to understand ideas and concepts related to government-linked companies or GLC under the topic of public enterprise. This approach is suitable because it helps us explain the political, economic, and social issues surrounding GLC in Malaysia. It also allows us to understand how GLC function and why they continue to face problems such as politicization and weak accountability. For data collection, we use document analysis, which involve collecting information from secondary sources. Secondary sources are material that are based on previous research and existing record. This method is suitable because GLC are well-established institutions with many public records. The source used include government publication and policy reports, academic journal article, reliable news reports, and lecture material provided by our lecturers. By using secondary source, we were able to gain detailed and reliable information without conducting interview or survey, which may be sensitive or difficult. After collecting the data, we analyze it using thematic analysis. In this process, we carefully read all the documents and identify important issues and challenges faced by GLC. These issues were then grouped into main themes such as political interference, unclear accountability, and conflict between profit goals and public responsibility. This method helped us organize the information clearly and develop meaningful insights rather than simply describing the problem.
Based on our finding, Malaysia GLC inefficiency issues are mainly arise from four key issues. First, GLC are required to perform dual roles, which is they are expected to generate profit like private firm, but at the same time they must fulfill government and social objectives such as maintaining the employment, providing affordable services, or contributing to national development. This dual responsibility often place manager in difficult dilemma, slow down the decision making, and can result in unclear priority. Second, political interference significantly affect their performance. State involvement in appointing management or influencing strategic decisions disrupt organizational continuity, increase bureaucracy, and raise operational costs. Third, governance ambiguity is a key weakness in Malaysian government-linked company. Because GLC have a hybrid structure, they are accountable to many parties including ministry, regulator, politician, boards, and the public. This creates confusion over who is ultimately responsible for performance. As a result, accountability becomes fragmented, and both of the board and government authority may shift blame when the outcome are bad. This uncertainty discourages senior management from making proactive or risk-taking decisions as authority and support are unclear. Over time, governance in GLC focuses more on procedural compliance than the real performance, which weakens the oversight, reduces transparency, reduces public trust, and limits long-term efficiency and improvement. Last but not least, prolonged government protection reduces competitiveness and innovation in Malaysian GLC. Many GLC operate in sheltered environment due to subsidies and regulatory protection, which limits market competition. While this protection aims to safeguard the national interest, it reduces incentive for cost efficiency, productivity, and innovation. As a result, GLC often adopt new technology more slowly and experience operational inefficiency. Long-term reliance on government support can lead to organizational complacency as survival is not fully driven by market performance. However, evidence shows that exposure to market discipline such as through private sector partnership can improve competitiveness by introducing professional management, performance-based incentive, and innovation, ultimately strengthen long-term sustainability. To improve the efficiency of Malaysian government-linked company, there are several key recommendations. First, it is crucial to clearly define the roles of each GLC. Companies should be distinguished as either commercial entities or service-oriented organizations. Commercial GLC can then focus fully on profitability, operational efficiency, and customer satisfaction, while social obligations such as providing local services or maintaining employment should be clearly identified, properly costed, and funded separately through government subsidies. This separation ensures that the manager can prioritize business objectives without being penalized for non-commercial duties. Second, government ownership must be clearly separated from management. The government should focus on setting overall policy, strategic direction, and long-term goals, while day-to-day operational decisions like investment, restructuring, and staffing should be left to professional managers. This reduces political interference and allows decisions to be made based on economic and business logic. Third, board members and senior executives should be appointed transparently based on merit, experience, and leadership skill with fixed tenure to avoid frequent turnover and maintain organization stability. To address inefficiency and weak innovation in government-linked company, a strong solution is the gradual reduction of government protection combined with greater private sector participation. Prolonged reliance on subsidies or regulatory shelter reduces the competitive pressure and weakens the incentive to improve efficiency. When GLC are exposed to market competition, they are pushed to enhance service quality, adopt new technologies, and operate more efficiently. Partial privatization and strategic partnership with private or foreign firms can further strengthen performance by introducing professional management, enhanced technology, and performance-based oriented practices. This approach allows the government to retain strategic control while encouraging GLC to operate more commercial principles, supporting long-term competitive and sustainability.
Lastly, I will present the conclusion of our assignment. Government-linked company play an important role in Malaysia by providing essential services and supporting national development. However, GLC face several serious challenges that affect their performance. One major challenge is the difficulty in balancing profit-making goals with social responsibilities. This often causes inefficiency and slow decision-making. Another major issue is political interference, where political involvement in management and decision-making can weaken professional leadership. The Malaysia airline case clearly shows how political influence can contribute to poor performance and financial losses. In addition, weak corporate governance also make it difficult for GLC to compete effectively with private companies. To improve the performance of GLC, the government should clearly separate commercial objectives from social responsibilities. Political interference should be reduced by allowing professional managers to make business decisions. Stronger corporate governance, such as independent boards and proper performance monitoring, should also be implemented. If these improvements are applied, GLC can become more efficient, competitive, and successful in achieving both business goals and public interest. Therefore, the future success of GLC depends on strong leadership, continuous improvement, and the ability to adapt to changing market conditions.